I'm Sam Otten, and with me is Jason Book. Hey, Jason.
Hey Sam, how you doing?
Pretty good. We are going to be talking about the new Star Wars teaser trailer that was released this past week. This one's definitely, fits the bill of teasing with a lot of different images that they show, but not giving away too much. So, what were your initial reactions, Jason?
I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. I thought that they really kind of kept the tone of the old movies, but yet kind of showing something new. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get a glimpse, even a still image or something of the original cast, but
Hmm.
I'm willing to let that slide for now. It really captured the vibe of Star Wars, and you can tell they're being very careful with how the prequels took some missteps. So it's only 88 seconds, but I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, I was very excited as well. So for me, I agree with you. They seem to be really going to that feel of kind of a little bit more dirt on the ships and like a little
Mm,
bit more kind of, realistic looking shots.
yeah.
I know they're trying to do a lot of the effects, like practically like they're building a lot of the sets and they've actually built a lot of the ships. And even though there's clearly a lot of CG, it's kind of like based in more of a practical reality than the
Hmm.
prequels, where the prequels was more like a CG fest.
Yeah.
So I liked that just from the quick glimpses that they gave, you could kind of feel that tone. I was also glad to see that it didn't look like Star Trek because I was a little concerned with J.J. Abrams coming on and he kind of has his, shaky cam where he's always next to the camera operator, actually
Definitely.
physically shaking it with his hand and then like,
Yeah.
12 lens flares a minute. Um, so I was pretty excited to see like, no, they're kind of the way that they're positioning the camera and the shots even seems like it's kind of calling back to the original trilogy.
Yeah, and I really like that they did some things like, you could say, oh, there was a lot of original trilogy stuff in there, but they did stuff with it we've never seen. You see
Hmm.
X-wings flying right above the water. You see the Millennium Falcon like flying right underneath the sand, like right above the sand with TIE fighters. Like that was really cool.
Yeah, I was intrigued that the shots of the ships were actually all terrestrial based. It wasn't
Hmm.
actually space based. So I think that could be a new kind of way to present the fight scenes and the flying.
Hmm.
And then of course the new droid that I'm sure a lot of people are excited about, the kind of spherical droid.
Hmm. They've been calling it like the beach ball droid or something like
Okay.
that. Yeah, yeah. And it looks kind of fun and interesting. If you look close in the background of that shot, the engines in the background are like pod race engines, like kind of
Hmm.
junked and stuff. So it looks kind of neat.
Now, I was actually happy not to see. Well, I should say this way: I was happy that they showed the new cast members because I
Hmm.
was really curious how they were going to look in the Star Wars universe, and I was wondering how they were going to fit in. So Boyega coming up right at the beginning in stormtrooper outfit. Now I don't know if that means he's a stormtrooper or if he's just in a stormtrooper outfit for some reason.
Yeah, that was
And
very well done. Like everybody's talking about that, so that was pretty
yeah,
cool.
and then seeing Oscar Isaac in the X-wing, and then seeing the female lead. Like to me, I was actually more happy to just get quick glimpses of them. And I think that they're probably making a good call to hold off on Han Solo and Luke for later.
True. I just think that to me, those are the only parts now that I've seen this that have to kind of sell me on it. Like,
Hmm.
we need to see Luke in just some sort of Obi-Wan style where he's training Jedis. That will be believable. I just
Yeah.
have to believe that Han Solo at this age is still running around in the Falcon or something, Like,
Right.
I just want to see how he looks in it, and maybe he'll
Hmm.
be more of a different character. Maybe he'll have like a rebel kind of position higher up, like they kind of alluded to at the end of Jedi when they were kind of sitting in on the meetings and things like that.
Hmm.
You never know, right?
Yeah, and I'm wondering with like Han Solo if he's going to be sort of having trouble dealing with old age because he's such an active guy, and
Yeah.
it seems like he's not going to age gracefully. Where maybe Luke is sort of more wizened and maybe is
Hmm.
settling into his old age mentor role better, and
I
Han
think,
Solo is maybe still
sir,
trying to hold on to his youth and his like vigor.
for sure. I think Carrie Fisher's probably got it the worst of all of them because I saw some pictures and she actually doesn't look that bad. I think she's lost some weight and tried to get in shape and stuff. But,
Hmm.
like she was so beautiful in the original movies and to try and
Hmm.
live up to that as a woman of her age,
Yeah,
people are really going to kind of the
people are more
comparison.
harsh on the
Yeah,
female.
I think
Yeah.
so. So hopefully then maybe play up that, she was a princess and maybe she'll be higher up in the alliance or taking on some sort of I don't know, more regal role of something.
Hmm.
I mean, something that suits the age of the characters would be great.
So I wanted to get your thoughts on the voiceover and then on the Sith, or what I'm assuming is a Sith with his lightsaber. So a lot of people are talking about the hilt of the lightsaber. I found myself thinking more about the lightsaber. It seemed like it was kind of crackling and
Hmm.
not as sheen and clear as the typical lightsabers.
Hmm.
So I was reading a little bit about that after I noticed it, and other people are saying, maybe they're because there's this gap in Force, kind of Sith and Jedi, that they're maybe actually having to cobble together their own lightsabers, and so maybe they're not as refined as they used to be. But I was wondering on what your thoughts were on the kind of the voiceover and that Sith appearance.
Well, I was kind of thinking that too because something they've never really showed too much in the movies, but they alluded to in the novels and whatnot, is the lightsabers are made from kyber crystals.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's something that it's made from a lesser crystal or
Uh,
something kind of cobbled together, like you're saying. Totally makes sense to me. Um, I thought the voiceover was great. Everybody seems to have thought it was Benedict Cumberbatch at first, but it turns out it could be Max von Sydow, which seems kind of old for that voice because he's in the movie.
mm-hmm.
And then someone said it could be Andy Serkis too because he has a role in the movie. Whatever they
Yeah.
did, the voice I thought was great. The
Mm-hmm.
dialogue was a little economical, but it worked for the trailer.
Yeah, for a tease. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sith itself was a cool image. I like that they didn't show the mask. A lot of people are thinking it's Adam Driver who's playing the bad guy and
Mm-hmm.
has some sort of relation to maybe he follows Vader or found his mask or something weird like that. Who knows? But I think they'll make him his own kind of character and not just be a Darth Vader ripoff.
Right.
And what's really cool about this teaser, if you look at all these scenes, something's about to happen in these scenes, and then you don't see what happens next. And
Yeah.
someone was writing about that and said that's what makes a good teaser because it
Yeah.
really makes you want to know what's happening next. That scene in the woods, we've never seen a Star Wars snow scene in the woods like that. It
Right.
could be he's about to fight a monster or a Jedi. Who knows? It could be very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and like what's Boyega running from, or
Yeah.
was, he seems confused about where he is, or like what's the female when she's taken off on that new vehicle, like what's
Yeah.
what's she doing? Yeah, I agree. And the stormtroopers, all of it's kind of like something exciting seems like it's going on, and
Yeah.
but they don't show us what that actually is. Yeah, it's great. I thought that was really well put together.
Yeah, I think the whole thing, right? Like they've just done a great job with it and
I will say, so the first sentence, my gut reaction was that it was Andy Serkis doing a voice and that they might have actually modulated him down a little bit, but the way that he
mm,
kind of phrased it to me kind of came across as Andy Serkis. But then when I saw the Benedict Cumberbatch stuff, I listened to it again and it does kind of sound like him.
yeah, it kind of
So I'm
does,
not
doesn't
sure.
it?
But then the second sentence in the woods, I think that might even be a different voice.
It could
So
be, yeah.
they might have
Like
actually taken lines from two different characters. So
yeah, and speaking of that stormtrooper scene, what I love is that like I read somewhere as well, like, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner in the prequel saying they were all clones and whatnot, but it's
mhm.
just kind of understood that what by the time episode four rolled around, they weren't only just clones, they kind of conscripted people to be stormtroopers and stuff. So that way they can have things like, we've never seen a black guy as a stormtrooper. I think that's really cool, whether he's
Mhm.
actually a stormtrooper that goes rogue or just the classic Star Wars, a good guy masquerading as a stormtrooper.
Right. Yeah, so overall, I mean, I think it's perfect for a tease, and I think
Yeah.
it's way too early to give more than this, so I'm glad that they just gave us a couple glimpses of things that we can really get excited about, but overall, definitely getting excited. It's a year away now, so
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. It's a year away, and hopefully we'll get kind of a long trailer showing a bit more of everything we want to see halfway through the year. That would be great by me.
perfect. All right, thanks, Jason.
Okay, anytime.